there are many things, many value systems, many belief systems that are simply true, simply false in this world. And you really need to be careful about what kind of belief system, what kind of information you want to install in your brain. I'm talking about limiting beliefs. I'm talking about social programming, because if you want to change some actions, if you want to achieve some dreams, big dreams, like studying abroad, you want to be fit, if you want to be jacked, if you want to find a girlfriend, if you want to find a boyfriend, if you want to travel to 12 countries, if you want to make X amount of money, if you don't believe you can do it in the first place, you won't be able to even change the behaviors. So that's the reason why I'm believing that belief system, changing the way you think and believe, is more important than changing your behaviors. Because changing behavior without changing belief system, you're gonna be stuck after not getting results for X amount of time. But if you have certain belief system, then you can keep putting consistent effort to achieve your goals. So I'm talking about limiting beliefs because it's really important. Many people have excuses, stories, and the reason why you can't do this and that, because maybe friends, parents, your teachers, or your classmates, or random people have told you that you can't do this because you're not smart enough, you're not tall enough, you're not fit enough, you're not good looking enough, you don't have money enough, you're not simply good enough, you're not special enough. Maybe those are maybe the reasons why are stopping you from achieving some goals, because you believe that you can do this because of those reasons. Those are called the stories, excuses, or limiting beliefs. And if you have that, you won't be able to achieve. You won't be able to put actions toward that because you don't believe it. So that's a reason why limiting beliefs is really important, and it's also called a social programming. People is gonna tell you that you can do this because you are not going to university, or you can't date this girl because you're not tall enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not rich enough, you're not good looking enough. Whatever the reason those are simply called programming made by society. Those are usually delivered through media like movies, TV dramas, or people like famous people's quotes. And the reason why social conditioning or social programming, whatever that way you call it, basically the conditioning from the society or socialization is not necessarily beneficial to you, is because most of the time those are incorrect. Thinking about money, if you think money is really evil, if you think talking to strangers is really bad, shameful, you should be feeling guilty. If you've ever heard of those stuff, those are simply not true, but those are really made from the society back then. Think about Christianity. They made a rule about money so that they wanted to kind of suppress the capitalism, so that they wanted to maintain a social order back then. Same thing, they wanted to prohibit sexuality from the woman, so that's the reason why they punished really promiscuous women. That's the origin of the word called slut, because they wanted to limit the amount of sexuality for the woman, not men, and that's one of the social programming that's still existing in this world in 2017. So think about social programming, social conditioning, whatever those are, like you can do this, you can do that. Like for example, you can talk to strangers, or talking about money is really bad. I'm talking about this in a general term, not at the workplace. Or things like social conditioning, like if you're not tall enough, if you don't have money enough, you won't be able to find a girlfriend. Or anything from like taboo things. So if you have those limiting beliefs, you won't be able to take actions because your mind simply thinks that, oh, I can't do this. So you stop. You don't even take actions, right? If you're skinny, if you're average looking, and if you're poor, you might think you won't be able to find a cool, really nice girlfriend. But that's simply not true, and those are limiting beliefs. If you think like that, you won't be able to take action, so you don't do anything, and therefore you don't get girlfriends. But if you change your belief system, you can do it. It doesn't really matter about how much money you have, or what kind of jobs you have, or how tall or how skinny, how big you are. You take actions to change your the future destiny. So belief system is going to determine your behavior, and the behavior is going to eventually change your destiny. So that's the way I think about it. Always, I try to be always careful about what kind of information I want to take into my brain, kind of install information into my brain, and what kind of information, false information, I don't want to install and download into my brain. And so that's the reason why I'm talking about limiting belief, social programming, social conditioning. Because if you think you can achieve, if you think you can study abroad, graduate from Western University, or you can be fit, 8% body fat, jacked, you think you can get a girlfriend, if you think you can travel to 10 countries this year, or if you think you can read 10 books a day or 10 books a year, if you think you can talk to this person, get this kind of amount of sales results in this work job, then you might change your behavior and you might change the results, right? And so many people stop dreaming about their dreams. You know why? Because people around them, parents, teachers, friends, society, random people have told them that you can't do this. You just can't do this because you're not special. But that's simply not true. Those are limiting beliefs. They're putting their own limiting beliefs onto you because they couldn't do it. And if you can do it, that's gonna show them that how miserable they are, because that's gonna show the lack of skills, a lack of commitment, and lack of something that they couldn't achieve by you showing them that you can do it. And that's the reason why people get jealous. People get scared of their low self-esteem by telling people what they cannot do. So don't listen to those people. Those are called limiting belief. And if you want to achieve something big, you need to change your belief system first. If you can believe it, you won't even take action, and therefore you can't even achieve it. So make sure that you really take care of your brain, belief system, value system. Be really careful about what kind of information that you want to put in your brain. And that's the reason why I try to read and nurture my brain so that I don't corrupt my brain with false and corrupted information. And one of the good ways to do that is by following what success people are doing, what people who are better placed than I am right now are doing. They usually have commonalities, they usually have patterns, they usually have routines. For example, morning routines. They always, they oftentimes work out. They take a body before their brain so that they live in a healthy body. Okay, our mind and brain is living in our body. If our body is not even healthy, we won't be able to think straight. Think about when you are cold. You can't even think straight because you're sick, right? So those patterns like morning routines, prioritization, working out, trying to stay away from caffeine, for example, or try to limit the usage of social networking application during the nighttime. Those stuff are what most successful people are doing, and then you can model what people who are at the place are doing, and you can install what have already worked. You can model those stuff as opposed to you simply trying to invent your own unique style from the scratch, because our time is limited. We don't have time enough to come with the best and possible ideas from our own unique mind. So we always want to model what success people have done to shortcut our success. And so that's kind of things that you can take in from reading those books. And so make sure this is my 2 cents, but that's the reason why I talked about limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs is going to corrupt your brain. Limiting beliefs is going to stop you from taking actions to achieve your goals, big dreams. So make sure what kind of belief system you have is actually correct, and what information that you have in your brain is actually false. Take care of your brain and value systems periodically, and if you believe that something is true without even have a logical support, rationalization, maybe that's a good time to think about why you think this is true. Just because your grandpa told you that this is correct, just because your mom told you that, okay, so meeting the people on the street is dangerous, maybe you want to think twice about it, because that might be outdated information. So think about limiting belief as a way for you to basically keep your brain clean and away from being corrupted, so that you can take actions, you can achieve your goals, you can accomplish something that you wanted to do. as opposed to simply giving up because of that, because the simple reason why, some random people have told you that you can't do this because you are not cool, right? That's it.